What's up, guys? It's Derek here, back for another VOD review. Today we are VOD reviewing, you can see him in the bottom right corner. This is K3 Soju, considered by many to be the greatest TFT player of all time, or at least the greatest TFT streamer of all time. And look, I'm not VOD reviewing Soju this game because he's doing particularly well on ladder. He does not have the stats of some of the people that I've reviewed over the last few days. As you can see, he's trying his best to climb out of Masters, but he played a really cool comp this game that I think is going to be insanely strong in the new patch. I'm going to have a link in the description down below to a tactor guide on the comp so that you guys can know exactly how to play this, because I think if you get the augment that enables this comp, as we'll see in, a few rounds, this comp is just insane if you get that augment and if you can play this setup. This comp was buffed really hard this patch that, is live now across the entire world. I want to look at the exact stats. Yeah, I mean, the unit, which, I mean, look, I got it in the thumbnail. Lux went at 3-star from 480 base spell damage to 525. That is what, like a little under a 10% increase, like 9% increase or something like that. And Soju actually, oh, sorry for that. Look, it's my fault. Soju actually gets 2 of the augments that enable this comp really hard: Boiling Point and Twin Tear. But I would say that Twin Tear is absolutely the one that, you really want if you are playing this line. So the idea, of course, is that if you play Lux with Twin Terror, you can put 2 Luxes in the corner, and they kind of just perma-stun units. They're both going to shoot off into the corner, so they're units that kind of scale really well with having 2 of them. It reminds me a lot of like Twin Terror Talia in the past, where, one Talia would knock up a unit and the other one would throw rocks. You don't necessarily have that interaction where one Lux isn't like proccing anything off the other Lux, but their spells synergize really well with each other. Same thing with like a Mumu, where there's going to be 2 Mumu sitting in the front line with a bunch of, extra HP from Twin Terror and attack speed, and then one Mumu is going to cry and the other Mumu is going to cry, and they're going to kind of like feed into each other with the HP that they're granting each other. So it's just a comp that like all of the units really benefit from Twin Terror. So it's kind of the perfect Twin Terror setup, and with Lux being buffed pretty hard, like I said, like a little under a 10% damage buff onto the unit, you can easily see how, this would be a very strong comp to play towards. And you can see Soju, he picked up the Lux already, and he's already angling towards holding Lux. Like, he could play Yasuo on this board, but he's not going to play Yasuo because he wants to make 20 gold and hold on to this Lux. If you just wanted to play strongest board, you would sell a Lux and say whatever, but we're going to hold on to the Lux. Alawi also, of course, links the comp up very well because she's both Warden and Arcanist, so that's the unit that kind of finishes out all the... whenever you play Twin Terror, you want some kind of synergy tree that like fits together really well, and the tree of Lux, Amumu, and Alawi is just really succinct. Really, I was gonna say a different word, but it's kind of sus, so I'm not gonna say that word. But it's a good grouping of synergies that works really well together. So we're certainly gonna play towards that this game, and the early game right now, it is all about maintaining our econ, playing our strongest board possible, and Soju being a beast. He makes a good item onto this Rek'Sai here. He's not going to like greed items forever. He's going to slam Static Shiv because it's a reasonable slam. He's even going to actually level here to get Sniper in. He's looking at either Sniper or Arcanist or Bruiser, actually. There's so many options here. Yeah, I think this must be strongest board here. Getting Bruiser in for our 2 Rek'Sais, scaling up that HP more, and then also getting Sniper in. Arcanist doesn't really do much because, it's just like AP onto Caitlyn. I'm pretty sure her scaling is not... I don't know. I haven't built too many AP Caitlyn's, but I have to imagine her scaling is not amazing with that. And look, we're going to kill a decent number of units, almost 3, on this relatively strong board, so you can't be mad about that. And we still get to make 30 gold this round, so Soju playing a pretty strong early game here. Is there something he wants to hold on to here? I don't know. It looks like he almost wants to hold something, but it's not like he's going to make... I guess you could sell everything but Lux and Alawi and make gold, but I think that would be... yeah, I don't think that would be a great decision. He's going to opt to actually play the Alawi here, so that he can get Ghostly in. He says that's going to be better in his mind. And yeah, he's just, team builder. You put 3 units in, and then you close the team builder. That's the great thing about Twin Terror, is it is so straightforward to play. And then on later levels, we'll see what Soju ends up playing. There are a lot of different options. I think this is a comp that has absolutely not been optimized because it was basically like relatively viable last patch. This game is from last patch. Sadly, I don't have a game of someone playing in the new patch, but you'll see Soju does pretty well with a pre-buffed version of the comp, and Lux getting an almost 10% damage buff. With how well the comp does in this game, yeah, you'll see. There's definitely something to it. Tomir is actually probably a little bit low roll. You could pick up Ghostly and just have a random 2 Ghostly. It's not amazing though. Porcelain Spat would probably be the best thing you could get, so he actually, yeah, does opt to get the Lux in here. He's not going to pop it immediately because he wants to get the Porcelain. He actually gets 10 synergies in here, which is really, really nice synergizing for Mr. Soju here. I like this a lot, giving us the highest odds of finding Porcelain, because, yeah, I mean, getting a 4 Porcelain has to be our best option. 4 Arcanist is just not as good as 4 Porcelain, so we really want the highest chance of getting that as possible. Warden, probably for like 4 Warden wouldn't be terrible either. I don't love 4 Warden that much. I really like long distance pals in a spot like this. It doesn't gain any stats from Twin Terror, like attack speed and HP don't get shared with it. But you're going to be playing Arcanists. You'll be pretty happy about the stats that you can share. He ends up getting Arcanist Emblem here, and we're just going to roll down on 6 to try to pick up at least some kind of pair of units to play on the board here, and it's going to end up being this Ari here. I think a lot of people would be really, really tempted to roll down deep for a Lux here. And wow, the JG made from Soju. This is an item that I think most people say is just awful. It's not a very good item, but if there's ever a spot to build it, we're getting a bunch of AP from Arcanist, we're getting a bunch of AP from long distance pals. Like I guess this is the spot to build JG. But yeah, I mean we're not quite slow rolling, but we're kind of rolling deep on ooh, and there we go. Now we can full pivot like the entire board. Actually play the double Lux here, play the double Amumu here, and now we actually have the board really rocking and rolling. We're gonna Arcanist Path the Amumu. This is pretty sick. So that's where it's going to go. I mean, I guess it kind of has to go there because it can't go on Alawi and it can't go on Lux. So yeah, this will be our setup here. But yeah, that's an interesting addition. And yeah, instead of playing double Alawi, because we have the Arcanist Spout, we're just going to play 4 Arcanists. And I mean, it's a decent board. It's going to give, you know, a good amount of AP to, I mean, basically our entire board because everyone except for that second Amumu is an Arcanist. And yeah, you can be pretty happy with it. So yeah, I mean, it's a nice game already from Soju to show like how to like play around slightly suboptimal items. We get a second Amumu here, which is fantastic. The only downside is we need something else to play now that we make Amumu 2 here. We'd love if we high rolled, you know, some kind of, I mean, we could play double Ari here, I guess, if you want to. Yeah, I think that's kind of what you have to play. It doesn't feel amazing. You definitely prefer another Amumu, but it's too greedy, I would say, to roll down here. I guess you could roll the 40. Hope you find one Amumu or one Alawi or something, but I think the double Ari setup is fine here and allows us to chill and make 50 gold. Oh, he actually slams tier on Lux. I mean, I think he's saying that he really wants some kind of tier item on this Lux, like an adaptive helm, or because we have so much attack speed, you probably want like Shojin. But it's a little scary because this tier could end up being frontline item for sure. Could end up being like a redemption or something. So yeah, I would certainly be scared to do this. But yeah, I mean, we're absolutely going to slow roll here, try to pick up another Amumu here. Yeah, he dips even a little bit low to find that Amumu down to 40. Like we were talking about potentially doing it last round. He ends up dipping to 40 this round just to try to hit a second Amumu, because that is going to spike his board a lot. That's a bunch of HP and attack speed onto this 2-star Arcanist and Gargoyle Amumu. And yeah, now you can see, like, look at these Amumus heal each other up. One Amumu cast heals up, the other Amumu cast heals up. And then look at these 2 Luxes as well, just both sniping backliners. The hard part about Lux Reroll, I would say, when you don't have Twin Tear, is Lux on her own has trouble killing units. You know, especially prior to her being 3-star, she's going to send an ult to the backline, and it's going to do maybe like half of a unit's HP, maybe 60% of a unit's HP, but then you have to get to another Lux cast before you can actually kill that unit. With Twin Terror, both Luxes are shooting backline, so you actually have reasonable odds of actually like one-shotting a backliner, or I guess like 2-shotting a backliner, really. Oh, Spat here? I mean, that's going to have to end up being Porcelain Spat, I would have to imagine. As far as mana items, you could go the Adaptive Helm. It just really wrecks your other items. You'd have to go like another JG maybe. Yeah, I certainly want to roll kind of, I mean, at least down to 50 gold here. Yeah, I'm curious what he ends up building here. Because yeah, Adaptive is the best item, and then you have to go second JG onto this Lux, I guess. He's looking at maybe Faded Emblem, which, I mean, theoretically, you can fit Faded units, but it's pretty hard. I think the idea is you just second JG the Lux, and then you go for Porcelain Spat here, and it's just a little bit annoying, the fact that you end up with a second JG. I mean, you could also even just save this rod and the glove. Ooh. I mean, that's another Arcanist crest, which means you could basically fit 4 Arcanists for free. And it also gives you a Lux. That's the big thing, right? I feel like you have to take it because it gives you Lux. We gotta hold a Lowy here. Yeah, I'm not too interested in those units. So yeah, I mean, I would roll deep here for Lux 3. We do end up picking up Lux 3 and the Amumu 2. So we've hit relatively on tempo. We have relatively good items slammed. We can just level fast to 7 here, get 6 Arcanists. We don't have anywhere to put the Arcanist Spat. He needs second Amumu in, and then he's gonna put Arcanist Spats on both of them, maybe, is the way to do this. Yeah, this is a pretty hilarious setup with the double Arcanist Spat, 6 Arcanists. I mean, eventually we can play into 8, but we might have to sack some Twin Terror value. I mean, we definitely want to get, I have to imagine it's double Amumu here, and then you double Arcanist spat them. But wait, does that even... How does that work? I've never played... Ooh, we're almost... We're kind of getting there on the Amumus. But yeah, does that even work the way I want it to? Okay, I guess it might not. Yeah, can you, like, put 2 Amumus in and Arcanist spat both of them? Or do they count as the same unit so they don't up the Arcanist count? I think that's, like, a really important thing to know, that, like, I have not played Twin Tear with Spat before, but I have to imagine, because Soju isn't doing that, that it works the way that I'm afraid that it works, where the game is going to see 2 Amumus with Arcanist Spat and say these are the same units and not add Arcanist to the board, which is pretty hilarious. We just run for the Porcelain Spat here, either that or Frontline item to build out of the Rod, but there's not really one. Yeah, you could go like a TG here, I guess, for extra Frontline, or it could just be, I mean, that is a Syndra too. It could just be JG and it could be a Syndra too. Yeah, can't Arcanist Spat the Syndra. We're finally, yeah, I mean, this has to be better because we at least get a Synergy in. So now we're going to play Faded. This is a pretty cool board. We get Faded in here. We're pairing the Syndra and the Ari here. Honestly, I would probably pair the... And yeah, he is just going to go for the JG and hold this glove. I'd probably pair the Syndra and the Thresh here. I don't think the extra AP is really that necessary. And some tank stats on a Thresh and a Syndra I feel like would be pretty nice. Because we have so much AP already from the Arcanist. I mean, you could pair it and then give long distance pals to the Lux with the Syndra to share their AP, because it's got to be more than just the Arcanist spat on the Amumu. The only upside is we get some tank stats on the Lux, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, this is also, I don't know, this is already such a weird game, because we got this double Arcanist spat. I mean, normally you would definitely just be playing around 2 Amumu, 2 Lux, 2 Alawi. It reminds me of, you know, the Punk reroll comp, where, you know, you just play 2 of everything, and, you know, the synergies fit pretty well, because one unit bridges the synergies. In the Pantheon, that was a Guardian and a Punk unit, and then also like the Punk Executioners. It all fit together so well. And this comp, the unit that bridges the synergies is the Alawi, but I mean, this fits. This fits relatively well with the 6 Arcanists, and then I guess we're going level 8 for another Amumu here, and then we can actually Twin Tear that, and that'll be really nice. I mean, Twin Tear on frontline isn't the most important thing, because it's just HP. Whereas, like, the attack speed is really crucial. Like, you can live with it. Oh my god, that's a lot of gold. I mean, I have to imagine, yeah, we're going to roll here. I like this. Roll for the Amumu, and then look at leveling, because your odds are so much better at this level. You lose 8% odds if you level first. We do have Porcelain Spat as a slam, which is fantastic. Really wish you had, like, Steadfast Heart here. It's going to have to be, like, I don't know, I'd go, like, Hodge. Yeah, Hodge onto the Syndra. I mean, I really wish we had a final Amumu item, but you can live with this for sure. I mean, this is not the worst Syndra setup. You know, a mana item would be nice on her as well. But look at how much damage this Lux does. Look at how much damage. I mean, with this setup, the Syndra is actually doing a ton of work as well. But Lux, 9,400 damage from a 2-star, from a 3-star 2 cost. I mean, that is not bad at all. Oh, I mean, right after we roll down, we get this encounter. I mean, that's pretty silly. I mean, at this point, we're just looking to level, right? You could go 9. You could either get an 8 Arcanist, or you could just get in another duplicate of a unit. Yeah, and I think Soju's looking at getting 8 Arcanist in, because that's got to be a bigger spike than getting in like a double Alawi or something. So I mean, yeah, I think that'll be our setup here. We need to pick up. Oh yeah, and he's gonna look at right now, because oh wait, no, he's looking at Porcelain and looking at getting 4 Porcelain in, I guess. But yeah, because I guess, I mean, you're always gonna play Lysandra. I mean, you play both. You play 8 Arcanist, 4 Porcelain. You just get Lysandra plus Zoe in. You level for Lysandra, and then put Zoe in over the Amumu, and then you have 8 Arcanist, 4 Porcelain, and then you are chilling, actually. Yeah, this Porcelain spot was actually fantastic, and he is gonna end up with just Porcelain Ash here. I like this, or Arcanist Ash here. I like this a lot. I think Porcelain's gonna be way stronger than Faded is on this board, so you absolutely just cut Faded for Porcelain here. He's still giving the stats to the Amumu here. I think now that we have Amumu 3, I actually like this a lot. You would get more AP, right? Giving, I mean, now that we've dropped Faded, it's like basically the same amount of AP except for the items. By pairing the Syndra with the Lux, but the tank stats that Amumu is going to provide Lux, and that Lux is going to provide Amumu, honestly, giving Amumu more AP to get more healing, I think is absolutely necessary. What a cool setup, this game. We'd love a third Amumu item at some point this game. I mean, it would be Crown Guard here. You could go Spark, but we already have Shiv, so you don't really need it, so I imagine it's got to be Crown Guard here. He was looking at Spark for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why. Maybe just to have the Zoe so that we can play 8 Arc, but like, I mean, surely you'll hit a Zoe at some point, right? And he's also keeping the 4 Warden idea in mind. You could play around 4 Warden. Honestly, if I'm playing 4 Warden, I would probably just level for like Faded or level for another Alawi or something. do not rate this Warden synergy very highly anymore after they nerfed it really hard at the start of the set. It was broken on PvE, and they were like, well, we can't have that happen, so we're gonna nerf it. But I mean, look at this Lux go. Every cast, she is nearly one-tapping a unit. She just barely didn't one-tap that Ahri because, you know, shields from Faded is broken. But I think this comp's gonna be really, really strong. And, you know, you should note that this is a comp that it didn't really receive any nerfs, except for like the Faded nerf, but you're not playing Horde Faded usually in this comp. This is an exception because we're in a weird spot here where we have 2 Arcanist bats. But yeah, like, you're not playing towards Faded, so the comp wasn't nerfed at all. And all the other comps, well, most of the other comps were nerfed this patch. So, you know, whenever you see a comp like this that's completely untouched, except to be buffed, and it's already performing well. I mean, look at Soju, 42 HP, win streaking here, 7 streak here, just going the fastest 9 of his life off Lux 3 and Amumu 3. Like, I think this comp really is kind of cooking. I think this comp might be insanely strong on the new patch. The other thing to note, of course, is that like Lux and Amumu are pretty uncommon units. These are not sought after units. You know, it's not like you're looking for like a 3-star Senna and like 3 other people have like put Senna on their boards. Like, you don't even play this Lux unit if you're not playing like vertical Arcanist, which like no one is playing. So we're gonna go for the level here. There's the Zoe. We just need to pick up one Syndra here. We're actually rolling pretty flexibly here, picking up stuff like the set. Oh yeah, and we have the Nico option again as well. I didn't even realize. Yeah, we aren't playing Nico because we have double Arcanist Bat. So we don't even need the list. I mean, obviously you would prefer the list, but you don't actually even completely need it here. We can fit it this way. Did we cut? I think we have even an extra slot now that I think about it for some reason. We had 6 Arcanist here. We were gonna cut a unit because like once you get Liss in, you can play Liss over the Ashe, and then you have an open slot where you can because he cut yeah, he cut the oh, this is interesting. He wants to Arcanist Bat here as opposed to just Arcanist. Okay, he's trying a lot of stuff here. You can fade it. Okay, so yeah, there's basically 3 options. You could play like a random Arcanist unit. You could play like the Hui and Arcanist him. You could play this set here, which gives us Faded, and it's another Warden unit, which is pretty cool. Or you could just play double. You still can't play double Amumu because of the thing we were talking about earlier, where he has the Arcanist Bat. So I guess this is the best option. Yeah, you get 3 Faded in, and you get to play around a set. Okay, I mean, yeah, this board's fantastic. Probably not going to make a Story Weaver emblem here. Just going to wait and see. I mean, with 8 Arcanist, Liss might farm us, you know, another Porcelain Spat, and then we'd be off to the races. Then this set becomes an Ashe. Then we play 6 Porcelain, and the game's over. But honestly, almost looks like the game's over. And this is an insanely strong board that we're fighting against. This Faded board. Are we going to beat this board easily? I mean, like, probably not easily, but are we going to stomp this board as well? I mean, they positioned all their units out of the corner, which is really, really smart. Looking, I don't actually know. This fight looks rough, but I mean, Amumu's so tanky. We kill. Okay, yes, we just barely lose this fight. Off carousel here, Porcelain Spat. Oh my god. I was gonna say would be the best possible thing. We do get Porcelain Spat. Now we can play 6 Porcelain, and that's gotta be enough to win the game. We just need to pick up 1 Ashe on this roll down here. There's Lysandre too, which is a huge upgrade as well. Just rolling now for the 1 Ashe, and like set 2 in case we hit it, but just 1 Ashe is all we need. And there's the Ashe. You can Porcelain Spat. Lowy, yeah, I guess it's a Lowy, and then Arcanist the Ashe. Now we have 8 Arcanist, 6 Porcelain on this board. So much damage reduction onto 60% reduced damage onto this move. Look at him, he's barely, ooh, he's actually taking a lot of damage for a second there, but now he starts healing up when he casts. Look at how much damage he's tanking, man. An absolute monster. Man, this comp has got to be so broken on the new patch. So if you see Twin Tear, please try this comp out. Like I said, I'm going to have a Tactor guide down below to give you an idea on like itemization and like when to play it and that kind of stuff. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.